It all started about 6 years ago. Well, actually about 7 years ago. I was in the market for a new guitar. My best friend kept telling me about Schecter. Schecter, you gotta get a Schecter. The biggest bang for your buck, you gotta try Schecter. At the time, I was real into kind of the more shreddy guitars, different brands, the ones that kind of stood out and looked cool and had sharp edges and everything. So once the day finally came that I was ready to get the guitar, I thought, well, let's go back and let's look at Schecter. And I came across a Schecter Damien. The first thing that stood out to me about it was the flat black. Really into the color black for instruments. So it had a flat black. It was loaded with EMG pickups, which I thought was really awesome because they gave that good crunch. And it had really cool inlays. It had really awesome bad inlays on it. So I bought the guitar, and it was perfect. I played it, and it was absolutely perfect. The neck was just right. It was really easy to go really fast on, which I really loved. It had a 3-way selector switch, which was awesome, and as I knew they would, the EMGs in the guitar sounded really great. So I knew from that point forth that that Schecter was probably the way for me to go. Fast forward a few years, I'm still playing the Schecter, playing it to death, and the time comes that country rock band asked me to be lead guitar player for them. So I knew that I needed something different. I knew that the EMGs that were so appealing to me in the Damien weren't going to cut it, even though I used it for about the first 6 months, or probably even more than that, of the time I was in the band. So I started looking at other things. I knew that I wanted to stick with Schecter. I knew that I needed a more twangy, less crunch type sound. So the first thought that came to mind was a coil tap. I knew I wanted a Schecter with a coil tap, so I looked around and jumped onto the website, looked around. Immediately my eyes went to all the guitars that were $5,000, $2,000, $3,000, stuff like that. So I wanted something that had a very twangy option, and I came across the Omen, the Schecter Omen. Looked at it, had a coil tap, tried it out, loved it, and it was so accessible to get both a really rich, crunchy sound if I needed it, as well as the twangy sound that you need for lead guitar in a country type band. So I got the Omen, and it was my main guitar for about a year, and it was just perfect, just like the Damien. I started playing it, and it was perfect. The feel, the neck, the look. It's got a really great sunburst to it, so it kind of had a countryish look to it, but not too much, which is what I was going for because I didn't want to be really traditional with it. But the greatest thing about it was the sound, was that option with the coil tap that it had. Fast forward another year, and a very dear friend of mine decided to be extremely generous and get me the guitar that I knew that I was going to get next. It just would have taken a lot more time had my friend not been so nice. And fast forward, we get the C1 Classic, which is this guitar here. It's got everything that I loved about the Omen, but in a much more rich, much more accessible way. It's got the 5-way selector switch. It's got the beautiful chrome hardware. It's got the really beautiful inlay that everybody seems to notice first, but it's just, I mean, I really didn't think that it could go any further than what I had with the Damien, and then what I had with the Omen, and then now what I have with the C1. This guitar is just amazing, and there's really not much more to say about it. It's perfect. I can go extra heavy. I could go really, really twangy for country. I could do whatever I need. It's just right here at my hands. So it's really, really solidified my stance that I'm gonna be a Schecter player for however long I'm gonna be able to play, actually physically be able to play the guitar. Fortunately, my band, Border Avenue, has tasted some mild success. We have an endorsement with Bud Light that we're really, really proud of, and it's just so fascinating for me because at a lot of our shows, I get approached and people ask me, and they see the way I play, and they ask me, well, why aren't you playing this brand of guitar? Why aren't you playing this brand of guitar? You know, you don't have the, you know, the other types of guitars that all other country guitar players play. And, you know, all those guitars are great guitars, but I prefer Schecter, and I'm going to keep preferring Schecter. So that's really the end of the story. I don't really have an interest in really treading off the path at any other point. So I think that's basically it. So my name is Jonathan Maynes, and I'm a Schecter guitar player.